Hello, my name is Brennan. You can also call me the TechRN, and welcome to this episode. I'm going to be comparing three power banks, the Omnicharge Omni 20, the Omnicharge Omni 13, and the EasyACC Monster 20,000 milliamp power bank. These power banks are similar yet different. Obviously the Omnicharges are a lot alike, but each of them have merits and uses for you. This series does focus on these three, but there are other great power banks out there like the Anchor series and of course more EasyACC power banks, but this video is just working on describing these three. So let's get started. Now, to get us started, I just want to show you these power banks side by side in this shot here. So we get them together and you can kind of see the size difference between the three. You can see that the Omni 13 and the EasyACC Monster power bank that I have in my left hand there, that they're a relatively similar size, but of course the Monster EasyACC has a larger capacity and a flashlight. More details on that later. So here we're going to be showing the Omni 20 and the Omni 13 side by side. This comparison, we're going to get to more super specific details later, but I just want to show you how in this picture we can see that they have different charge times because of their different power capacities. You can find this picture on omnicharge.co. Here they are. You can see that that lined up, they have relatively the same layout. You can see that the screen, the power button, and the AC and the USB selection buttons are the same. They're just beautiful devices. I mean, when you hold these things, you feel like you're holding something that was built for professionals, just like MacBook Pros, just like the Dell XPS 15 and 13. These are well-bit devices. There's the Qualcomm 3.0 fast charging I was showing you. That is something that distinguishes the Omni 20 from the Omni 13 device. And there I'm pointing at the Qi wireless charging symbol that flashes. That is how you know your Omni 20 is equipped with the wireless charging capability. So there I'm just showing the comparison between the menus. You can see that the Omni 13 does not have DC output, and it does not have the wireless charging, as well as and it does not have the Qualcomm 3.0 fast output charging either. So there's the capacity for the Omni 13 and the version and so on and so forth that I'm showing you. These devices are just incredible because of these menus, because of the stats they show. You're not left guessing how much power you have. You're not left guessing what it can do. It just has so much going on for you. That one I'm showing you the silent mode because it has a fan, the Omni 20. You can trigger the silent mode as it does actually get a little bit loud when it's at high power or charging. So if you're in a conference and you need it to go quiet, you can select the quiet mode for the Omni 20. Side by side, you can see that they're fairly close in thickness, with the Omni 13 being thinner. You can see that the Omni 20 is wider. There is a significant weight difference, so the Omni 13 is better for those of you who need a compact device. So I'm just demonstrating real quickly the fact that you cannot use DC output to charge with the Omni 13. There you see me plugging it into my new MacBook Pro, the 2015 model, and it's not working. What the heck, right? Well, it's just not designed this way. I take a look here in the menu in a second, getting into it, and just like I showed you earlier, there is no DC output function built into it. So I'm scrolling up and down, and yep, no DC output. Bummer, but that's okay. Here we have the Omni 20, and I'm going to actually hook up the DC output. So there we go. I just click and I get into it. 16.5 volts is what is required to charge the MacBook Pro. If I can get oriented right, there we go. Alright, got it plugged in. I'm going to confirm yes. Now here's something you're going to see real quickly. Something I've noticed with the DC output is that sometimes when you click it and you just get out of the menu right away, it doesn't actually start charging it successfully. What you have to do is you have to click yes and confirm the voltage and then just wait a second. You have to wait inside the DC output menu and then it will fully, I don't know what you want to call it, it'll stick. And then it'll start charging it successfully for the hour and a half, however long is needed to charge your laptop. So that works really well, and so if you need the DC output, I would definitely recommend that you get the Omni 20 power bank. Inside of this, I'm just pointing at the fact that it's 16.5 volts, and it's definitely charging the MacBook Pro. So here's the weights of all of the devices. it's going to be in both metric and standard measurements, so I just thought this would be useful. My scale isn't perfect, it's kind of a cheap model, so the grams and the pounds and ounces aren't perfectly accurate, but that's not really the point here. It's just to demonstrate the difference in size and weight between the three. So I'm just going to be quiet for a moment and let you see. Well, actually, no, I'm not. See that one? That just means that it isn't tared correctly, so I'm trying to fix that. But it's still working for the purpose of showing you the weights between them. So you can see from the weight between those two, the Omni 13 and the Monster battery bank, I'm going to call it for the rest of this video, that their weight is similar, but obviously the Omni 13 has less charging capability, but it has way more technology, safety, etc. packed in. Let's take a close look at the Monster battery pack here, or power bank, excuse me. So I've had this since July of 2016, and overall I like it. It has a really smooth finish. I mean, it's slippery, and it kind of accumulates scratches and everything out of nowhere. There you can see me pointing at kind of that large one I got. I have no idea. But overall, it doesn't have that rubberized protection, but it works. It's still a pretty firm device. So it says Smart IQ on those ports, which means that it can detect the voltage your device needs, or the amperage, but I just wish they kind of would have displayed the numbers there too. I mean, especially for those of us who want to make sure that each port is outputting correctly. There you saw the flashlight function, works pretty well. It has 4 little light up LEDs that display 25% intervals of how much power you have. And they work okay, but I do prefer having the actual percentage and milliamp, or actually watt-hour measurement on the Omnicharges. So here I'm going to be plugging in all my different 1 amp items I have around, 1 amp requirement that is. There's my Fitbit, the iClever headphones. You're going to get used in these videos to seeing these different devices I plug in, but they're just good examples of what you might actually be taking with you on trips, etc., and need to charge on the go. The only thing you never see me plug in is my phone, because currently in my career as a YouTube reviewer, I am using the iPhone SE to make my videos. So there we go, 4 devices, flashlight running, everything's working great. Here I'm just demonstrating to you the numbers that are actually on the power bank. So 20,000 milliamp hours, 74 watt hours is what it's rated at. I'm going to be kind of fumbling around to try to show you what's on the Omni 20 here, because they're the ones that are comparable in battery size. So it is rated at 20,400 milliamp hours, or 70, I think it says 73. Yeah, 73 watt hours on it. So there you go, they're about the same size, but as you're going to find out in the rest of this video, for $270 more, the Omni 20 does have just a ton more features than the Monster EasyACC. The point in this comparison video is not necessarily to be fair in the region of price, but just to show you, like, you're a buyer, you want to buy a power bank, what do you get? If you're on a budget, as I'm going to talk about later, you get that one, the Monster EasyACC, but the Omnicharges are incredible if you can afford them. Here's the full Omni 13 review. So here we're going to take a look at it. We're going to turn it on, and just like its bigger sibling, you see that it does have the full menu and display as we showed earlier. It has AC and USB output. The Omni 13 is obviously a lot lighter. It's a lot smaller than the Omni 20. It has the 2 USB outputs, but it does not have Qualcomm 3.0. It's rated at it has 13,600 milliamp hours, or it shows that it is 49 watt hours. So it does a satisfactory job of charging your devices. For something like my 60 watt charged at peak load, at least 2015 MacBook Pro 13, it'll give it probably about a 50% charge with no use, and it can power it and charge it for probably about, I would say, maybe an hour to an hour and 15 minutes, but that's still significant when you think about not being able to charge it on the go at all, or at least away from a wall outlet. So with this, you don't get the fancy DC output like we talked about, so you do have to bring your power brick for your device to charge. But honestly, to me, still having the freedom of being able to be away from a wall or some kind of power outlet when I'm on the go is wonderful. You get to places like Starbucks, to other coffee shops. They're often just so full at all the walls. You can't possibly charge your device without putting your cord out there and making a tripping hazard for somebody. So even with the MagSafe 2 function, you don't want that to happen. So this device works great for powering things like the MacBook Pro, these smaller laptops, Ultrabook type laptops that require less than 65 watts at max load. But for something like the 15-inch MacBook Pro, it's not going to work when you're doing heavy graphical processing, video uploads, etc., because those laptops have an 87 watt charger on the 2016 model at least. And so it doesn't use 87 watts to sustain the charge all the time, but for this device being 65 watts max, it will spike above if you're doing heavy work, and your Omnicharge 13 will not be able to charge a MacBook 15 at that point. So there you see I have a couple devices plugged into the USB, and I have the MacBook Pro back there charging at the same time, and it works great. But right about now, a lot of people think to themselves, well, it only has 2 ports. Same with Omni 20, so it isn't that useful compared to the EasyACC Monster, right, for people who charge USB products? Well, not necessarily. Check this out. You can take something, like I'm going to show you, like an Anker wall plug that has 2 USB outlets on it, or really, honestly, any kind of USB dock, like the Boost Cube I used in the full Omni 20 video, and hook it up, and then you have not 2, but 4 ports, 6 ports, 8 ports. It just depends on how much total power is being drawn from the devices. Like I said, the Omni 13 can sustain up to 65 watts of output, so that's actually a significant margin for little tiny, 5 volt, 2.4 to 2.4 amp, 5 volt, 2.4 amp devices like tablets, or even smaller 1 amp devices like this, definitely 1 amp devices like this, it can sustain the power. So here you go, it's a little extra work and stuff to carry, but you can still have plenty of USB ports. So in this portion of this already very long video, I'm just going to do a recap of the main features that differ from the Omni 13 with the Omnicharge Omni 20, because I did make a full 20-minute video just on this device. So here I'm demonstrating the DC output again, this time on a MacBook Air that takes less voltage than the MacBook Pro I now have, and you can see that it's working great. It's an amazing feature. Then here I'm going to be showing the I think it's pronounced G wireless charging, QI wireless charging, and for this Samsung Galaxy S6 it works fantastic. Here I'm showing that with its 100 watt continuous rating, it can charge things like this 95 watt hair straightener. And here I show how with that high wattage as well, it is able to sustain charge to even something like the beastly 2017 Alienware 17R4 that requires between 50 to 90 watts to charge it even when it's asleep or turned off. So it's pretty great in that way. And here I'm just showing that just like it's a little brother, but only to a larger scale, you can hook up a million things to it. There's that Boost Cube I was talking about with 4 devices plugged in, has 2 USB things plugged in, and the DC output for the MacBook Air. So here I'm just holding it in this new video, just showing you around a little bit. I mean, it offers you so many options for how you're going to handle the device. It gives you that silent mode because it actually has a fan built in to cool off the device, which is necessary. It has the Qualcomm 3.0. There I'm pointing at the precise area that you need to lay down the device for the Qi wireless charging. It has the wall outlet, obviously. It's just a well-equipped, hefty, nice device that's so versatile compared to its Omni 13 little sibling. I really do recommend it. I mean, we're going to do a recap here in a second about all of them and who these devices are for, but you can just see that even for the much higher price, you're getting a lot more for the Omnicharge Omni 20 versus the Monster EasyACC. So in this portion of the video, I'm going to show how all these devices are charged. The Monster EasyACC is charged with dual 2 amp micro USB inputs, and it's the slowest when it's charged at 6 hours for its regular charging method. It's about 12 hours if you only do single 2 amp or 1 amp USB input. Probably even slower with just 1 amp input, like from your iPhone charger. So here's the case that you can buy for it in addition on Amazon. And it has the different compartments and elastic and mesh little pockets for you to put your stuff in. Later on, I'm gonna make a video about how to accessorize the Omni 20 and Omni 13, but I'm just showing you what this EasyACC comes with and what kind of accessories you can buy for it. It comes with those 2 micro USB cables and of course the device itself. And then it is actually pretty nice to have the case to go with it because it's so fragile. Well, I shouldn't say fragile, I'm sorry. It just gets marred, the finish of it, very easily. But you want to protect your investment no matter what. So there I'm showing you the stats for it again. There's definitely people who watch these videos, I know, who want to get the full technical specifications on these devices. So here I'm showing how this, if I can get the camera focused in, it's going to take a second, is a 1 amp iPhone charger. So it only has a single port. It is going to charge this power bank slow as snot. You do not want to use one of these to charge this. It's going to take it like 16 hours to charge it. What you need is something that has 2 USB ports, or you need 2 separate single USB port power AC wall adapter things that have a 2.4 amp output, because that's what's required to charge the device at its full speed. So here we show that power port 2 Anchor power brick again, or yeah, AC. You're obviously this video and the previous videos, these are a lot of names to throw around, so I apologize if I'm messing them up. But there you go, I'm just showing you the rating on this device. You can see that it has a 2.4 amp max output per port. So this is going to charge the device at its 6-hour rating from empty to full. And this is what you need if you're going camping or something and there's AC plugs available where you can charge it in order to get the maximum charge. It can also charge via something like a USB equipped solar panel like the Anchor solar panels available on Amazon, as can the Omnicharges. So here I'm showing you the variety of methods that you can charge the Omnicharges with. Say for the solar panel, they can charge in 2 to 10 hours, 2 hours with their own AC wall adapter and or a powerful laptop brick with the barrel plug adapter like I showed in the Omni 20 video, full video. And it can charge in about 10 hours, something like that, depending on the sunlight available to your solar charger. So they have fast and slow methods, so be aware of this. So here's the actual brick they come with. It has the same brick for both of them that you buy, so there's no difference in the power between the Omni 13, the power input for the Omni 20 and the Omni 13. And it's overall just a really, really light charger. There I'm showing the size comparison between the 60-watt MacBook Pro charger, 2015 MacBook Pro 13, and it's close to the same size, smaller, but it's much, much lighter. So for your on-the-go bag, you know, your laptop bag or your backpack, it's going to be a lot less weight inside of it, so you can charge it while you're on the go. But along with that, what Omnicharge includes when you buy these devices is they include a USB barrel cable plug for the Omnicharges. So that way, just like it's the Monster power bank, you can charge it with something like the Anchor Power Port 2. So that's really nice, but that's going to be slow as well. Just know that these are large batteries, and that's a very low input, so it's going to be slow compared to the AC wall adapter they come with, or the laptop adapted charger. So who are these for? That's the question we need to ask, and this is the question ultimately you have to ask yourself. Here I'm going to be a little bit quippy and funny, but I think it's true. For the EasyACC Monster 20,000 milliamp battery bank, it's for people who want to spend a limited amount on it, who charge mostly USB products on the go like their phones, and who get lost in the woods frequently and need a flashlight just in case. It's the cheapest at $29.99 on Amazon as of April 2nd. The Omnicharge Omni 20 is the beast here. It's going to be able to do it all. It's going to be able to it has the AC plug, the USB charging, DC output, the Qualcomm 3.0 fast charging, the Qi wireless charging, and the high 100 watt limit. This thing is the ultimate value in the power bank world right now, in my own opinion, and it's available at a variable price on Amazon and Omnicharge website, about $299. The Omnicharge Omni 13, just to let you know, is sold out right now on the actual website for Omnicharge, but it's more of the compromise for the people who want to break into the Omnicharge world. It's for those who can't afford the $100 more, or who need to really have a compact charger, or who perhaps don't want to spend their money on the DC output, the Qi wireless charging, and the higher power limit that they don't need. I just want to thank you so much. Good luck on the decision you make. There's going to be more videos like this, so please subscribe and like the video for more. I'm planning on making some shorter, more summarized videos of these devices because I know these 20-minute long ones can be kind of exhausting to watch or you just don't have the time. So I'm going to be making summary videos and kind of doing some fun stuff with these devices soon. So thanks, and please click on these videos and links for more. Take care.